It's been a long time coming from the SC, South Carolina, baby. Sometimes it feels like the world is against me, 'cause I'm coming from SC, from heartache and pain, struggle and strain, trying to maintain for the SC. So mama, don't worry, I'ma make my dreams happen.
Who let the genie out of the bottle? Hi guys, welcome back to the Nail Genie SC. I am Jeannie, and so in today's video, guys, we are going to be doing a fill on my non-dominant hand using my dominant hand. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the cuticle pusher and I'm gently pushing back my cuticles or pushing back my eponychium to remove the dead cuticle tissue that may be on my nail plate. Now, so as I do that, as I push back, I scrape up so I can make sure I kind of pull some of that dead cuticle tissue up to expose the new growth area. So I don't have a lot of new growth in the winter time, and I think a lot of people are that same way. Whoever, if you get your nails done, I think a lot of people have that same issue where you don't have as much growth in the winter as you do in the summer months or the hotter months. So, but I do have a little bit of new growth, so I want to go in and do a rebalance, and I want to change the design on my nail plate. So what I'm doing is I'm just using the scraper side to pull up a piece of the dead cuticle that was on my nail plate, and it was just sticking out and bothering me. So I was like, I'm getting that off. So you can't go around the eponychium area pushing up the cuticle off of your natural nail plate, and then take the scraper side of that tool and just remove that cuticle off the nail plate. All right, guys, have you subscribed, liked, comment, or shared my video? If you would, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. It's free to you and it doesn't cost a thing. And please, guys, hit that like button. It helps push out the content to more amazing subscribers such as yourself. Now, getting back into the video, I'm going in with my 5-in-1 course. I think this is this is a course, the black. Yes, we're going in with our 5-in-1 coarse nail drill bit, carbide bit, and I'm just removing the design that was on the nail, and I'm also taking down a little bit of the product. Now, I don't want to take the product all the way down, but I do want to even out the surface of the nail, because what I'm doing here is I need to rebalance my nail. So what I'm saying here is I need to reposition my apex area. Now, guys, when you are doing a rebalance, your apex area has shifted further up than where it normally is, right? So when that happens, that's why most nail techs tell their clients, make sure you stay on track with your rebalance, because once that happens, you take a risk, and if you hit your nails on any hard surface or grab something wrong, or you're moving too quick, you can damage your natural nail underneath that enhancement because the stress area has been compromised. So what you want to do is just go in and remove that product. I'm doing everything I can to keep that 5-in-1 coarse drill bit away from my exposed natural nail area. I'm keeping it only on the enhancement. Guys, never use that extra coarse bit on your natural nails. You will cause rings of fire. Also, you will damage the natural nail itself. So as you guys can see, I'm now in the right position filming, which is horizontally. And so I hope you guys stayed with me. I know it kind of can get a little frustrating when you're trying to see what the content creator is doing in that vertical position, but I am now in the horizontal position, the position I want to be in. And so I hope you guys are able to see a little bit better what I'm doing here. So like I said, you want to make sure that when removing the product, you stay on the enhancement when you're using a coarse nail drill bit. Okay, any type of carbide bit, you don't want to use it on the natural nail at all. You want to make sure that if you have a bit that you are being able to use on the natural nail is a diamond nail bit, and is either fine or extra fine, or even some of them you might can get away with a medium diamond bit. But diamond bits are pretty much your prepper bits, what they call your prepper bits, and you can use them on the natural nail. But do not ever overdo any kind of e-filing on your natural nail. You want to make sure that everything you do on the natural nail is very light, and you kind of move at a proper speed with the drill bit, and that you just do what you necessarily need to do, and then go ahead and move on. Okay, so I'm just going in and I'm going to remove all of this product. I'm going to take down some of the enhancement that's on the nail, so I can, when I do my rebalance, I can reposition my apex and go from there. So guys, I'm going to let you guys watch this process, and then I'll come back for the next step. Alright guys, I wanted to jump back in real quick and tell you what I'm using to remove my product. So I am using the Melody Susie, the mini dust collector. I'll call this mini, or this dust collector number 2, because I do have the larger dust collector from Melody Susie. I'm also using my Melody Susie pen drill. I can't remember off the top of my head which pen drill this is. I will try to link that information down in the description box below. I do have a couple pen drills from Melody Susie, so this is one of them that I'm using, and I actually keep it on my desk, so I'm always using this one. I love all of my pen drills from Melody Susie, but this one I think is my favorite out of all of them. So yes, I'm using this pen drill, and I'm also using my overhead dust collector. Now you see my mini dust collector, but it's charging, so I just only have it underneath me to catch any particles that may fall down, but it's not on. I'm using my overhead dust collector, which is oh my goodness, I can't think of the brand, but this one was very costly. So I'm using that one. So if you see the dust going up in the air, that's because there is a overhead dust collector above me. And when I'm removing polygel has a fine dust that, the particles just go everywhere. And as you can see, it's getting on my apron, which that's why I wear an apron, guys, when I'm removing. I wear my PPE all the time when I am doing nails, but sometimes I fail when I'm doing my own nails. I fail to grab the necessary PPE, and so I had noticed a couple times that I was having like a itchy attack after removing my product. So I realized that I need to always have my PPE on. So that means I need to always have my drill on, my apron on, my gloves on, my shield, my face shield, and I also wear glasses permanently. So I have my glasses on along with my face shield. And I always need to make sure my dust collectors are going. I actually use 2 dust collectors when I am working, because I want to make sure that all the particles are just falling where they need to fall. Now, no dust collector is perfect, and you're not going to get every particle. But when you see the results of what you're trapping, you know that you're doing the proper thing, because you don't want those fine particles getting inside your lungs and causing any issues and things in the future or in the present. So that's what I wanted to come on and let you guys know. So I will try to leave all of these items either they're going to pop up on the video screen, or they're going to be listed down in the description box below. So just make sure you guys look out for those things if you're interested in looking for a dust collector or a nail drill that is great use and affordable. Make sure you check that out. Okay, so the next thing we're going to get into is using my 240 grit sanding band on this mandrel bit. Now, I left this part in for you guys because I want to show you something and share something with you. For those of you that might encounter this issue, the same issue I'm encountering. Now, this drill head was kind of wobbly. It was moving extremely fast when I put it in to the chamber. As you can see, it's wobbling. And I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? So I grabbed my Sabilan e-file and I said, well, let me try it. Well, actually, not at this point. I actually grabbed the diamond bit and I'm just going around my cuticle, removing some more cuticle that stuck to the nail plate. So I'm using it because it's not wobbly. But I'm going to come back to that. I wanted to leave all of this in the video because I really wanted to share with you guys a situation that I encountered, and hopefully it'll help someone who may or may not have encountered this same situation. Okay? But I'm going around with this diamond bit, and I think it's diamond large barrel. I think it's called diamond large barrel bit because it's very straight. It's a very straight thin barrel bit. It's a fine bit. But I'm going around the cuticle area and I'm just removing or lifting up some more of that dead cuticle that is stuck to the nail plate around, especially around my side walls. Guys, the harsh weather, this harsh winter we've been under, my nails are so crusty, so dusty, and a lot of times my prep is longer than a lot of my clients. Some of my clients have the most beautiful sidewalls and cuticle area, eponychium area, and have little to no cuticle on their nail plate. But me, oh my goodness, I guess I do too much. I do a lot. I use my hands a lot. Guys, I use my hands for everything. I use my hands to clean. We all use our hands to clean. You gotta use your hands, but I put a lot of work on my on my nails. So when I have enhancements, I'm not all like cutesy and gotta put this on before I do this. I'm cleaning with my nails. I'm cooking, using my hands cooking. I'm washing dishes. I'm doing housework. I'm working out. I'm doing all kind of things. And so, yeah, my cuticles and my sidewalls and my eponychium area and my hyponychium area get really, really dry and crackly and just a lot of cuticle buildup. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going around with that large barrel diamond bit and at a fine, and I'm just pulling up that cuticle that is stuck to the nail plate. All right, but I cannot wait to get into what I was trying to tell you guys. I thought I was at that segment, but I'm not. So I'm gonna let you guys enjoy this part, and I'll be back. So guys, let's chat about it. So I didn't have any particular questions that stood out this week. So we're going to reiterate on one of the things that I was trying to discuss with you guys about massaging. Make sure that before you do a massage on your clients, whether it's a manicure or pedicure, that you ask them for the permission to be able to massage them, because a lot of clients, they don't know that that's part of their service, and you want to always ask their permission before, giving them a gentle massage. We never go above the knee area when we're doing a massage on the feet. I barely go past the calf. And we never go above the elbow area when we massaging on the hands. I go as far as past, just a little bit past the wrist. So make sure you always ask the client's permission before doing your massaging techniques, what we call reflexology. Make sure that you always get their permission. Now, I don't know what happened to that part. I don't know. It may be coming up after the feel, but I definitely thought it was in the video. I wanted to share with you guys how that drill bit was wobbly. And what happened was the drill bit, barrel of that drill bit was too small for that particular e-file. And I don't know if you guys ever have experienced that. So I end up grabbing another mandrel bit and changing it. And I was able to, I thought I had that clip in here. I was able to show you guys how that part of the mandrel bit was smaller. One was smaller than the other. So when you have a problem with your drill bits wobbling, make sure to check to see, because all drill bits are not the same size, and all drill bits does not fit in the same e-file. So what I realized after going through that was that I had the drill bit from a drill that I purchased from Bree Creations, and that barrel was way smaller than what actually goes in my Melody Susie e-file. So I was able to change that out, and it worked out. So just so you know, you definitely never want to use a drill bit that is wobbly and shaky on your nail plate, on your natural nail, on your nail, because it can cause micro shattering in your wrist, and it can cause damage to your nails. Okay, all right, so I missed the part where I showed you guys where I primed. I used my no lift primer. I used my protein bun from Young Nails, and now I'm going in with the Macart base coat, and I'm going to put that in the lamp and cure it for, I think it cures for 90 seconds in this lamp. This is my AI generated lamp that I just got for my anniversary. So yes, it goes for 90 seconds for your base coat. So I wanted to share with you guys how you can see the hand in position through the AI technology of this lamp. So I kept that little piece in for you guys. So now I'm going in, and I'm using my mochi gel. I believe this is rose water. Now I could not remember if I used sultry or rose water for my initial application, because guys, I'll be busy with clients and filming and everything, so I don't remember. So when I was using this rose water, you're gonna see in the part, I think it's my ring finger, where I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, is this not the right color? Maybe it was sultry, but I'm gonna stick with rose water. It's more similar, and it's just a feel. So I wasn't upset about it. So I'm going in, and I'm just taking a small bead around my, placing it around the epinicium area, and then I'm just gonna push up that product towards that cuticle area, and then I'm going to start patting that small bead and blend it into the nail as much as I can. So I'm not using a whole lot of product to do this. I'm just using a very small bead around the cuticle area just to fill in that cuticle quite nicely. And I'm sorry guys, I'm out of frame here. But to fill in that cuticle area quite nicely, and then just blend it all up into the product the remaining product that's been on the nail. So when you're doing a rebalance, I love doing rebalances. I know a lot of people don't like rebalances, but I love doing rebalance because it's less product used. It is a practice that you have to get used to. A lot of people don't get used to it because they don't do it. And like with anything in the nail industry, you have to continue to do it over and over again so that you get used to it. As you get used to it, you'll enjoy it more, and then you'll be able to offer that service to your client instead of continually taking the product off and starting new, or wanting your clients to remove the enhancements before they come so you can do a fresh set. A lot of people like doing fresh sets. It's easier for them, but for me, I like to do a fill-in as much as I can because removing the product is more damaging to the client than keeping that product on the nail. Now, there are a lot of reasons why you would need to remove the product from your client's nails, and that would be if there was damage done underneath the enhancement to the natural nail, or if you start to notice that there is discoloration coming through your enhancement, so there may be a greenie or something happening underneath the nail, and you may have to remove the product just to expose that natural nail to see what's going on. But most of the time, I like to make sure that my clients get their refills, their rebalances, because it just makes their nails stronger underneath the enhancement, that we don't keep doing, taking the product off and rebuilding, doing more and more. I have stated in the past in a lot of my videos with my clients that a lot of them get two refills, or not two refills, 2 takedowns a year. So they get a takedown in the winter months, January, and they get a takedown in June. So we remove all of the product and start fresh again unless they remove their own enhancement. It's really up to the client. But my A1 day ones that's been with me, loyal to me, and don't mess with their nails, they only let me mess with their nails, they only get 2 takedowns a year, and their nails are healthy and strong for it. So that's why I do that. But anyway, I'm going in and I'm just doing that on all my nails. I'm just rebalancing all my nails with this mochi gel. And guys, let me tell you something. If you have not tried mochi gel, and I know it's so hard to get your hands on it because it was hard for me to get my hands on this one. And she got some more product dropping today, I think. And yeah, I want it. And so it's hard to keep that mochi gel in stock. So it's very hard to get your hands on it. But if you can get your hands on this mochi gel, please do. This stuff is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. So smooth to work with. I mean, I'm in love with it. I am extremely. This is polygel. This is the polygel for me. Now, I have a lot of different brands of polygel, guys. Y'all know this. And I love every brand that I have. I've shared it with you guys many, many times. But this mochi gel, yes, she's a top seller. She's a top seller for real. So here I'm just getting out 5 of my lint-free wipes. And I'm going to just clean off each individual finger. Now, when you're using gel products, this is the proper way to clean the nail when you are doing gel products. I don't always follow the proper way. I know it's not right, but I don't always follow my proper way, the way I learned. But this is the proper way. You need 5 lint-free towels and 1 little lint-free for each nail that you do. So if you're doing 10 nails, you need 10 little wipes. Only because that gel sticky inhibition layer that we are cleaning off, it transfers. So it transfers from that lint-free, from the nail to the lint-free towel. And then if you use that same lint-free towel to remove the other, you know, inhibition layer, you just putting gel onto the client's hands. So you want to make sure that you use, you know, an individual lint free for each nail. And what I do is I just go under the nail and clean off up under the nail as well, only because it is a tacky product, which the mochi gel is not as tacky and sticky, but it still have that inhibition layer. So you have some product that does have the inhibition layer, and you want to make sure that you remove that inhibition layer before you go in using your file or your buffer, because if you don't clean off that inhibition layer, it gets stuck on your file and it gets stuck on your buffer, and then it's not doing the job you want it to do, because you have product that's sticking to that grit that's on that hand file. So I'm going in, I'm using my Tammy Taylor 100 grit file to shape the nails, reshape my nails, because I didn't do the reshaping on my nails prior to going in with the application. So I'm doing that now. So I'm going in and I'm doing the reshaping, and, you know, or the finish filing, I should say, here, and cleaning up the shape of the nail. Now these nails, when I put them on originally, they were a curved tip nail, and I kind of cut them like right above the curve. So as they grow out, they don't have so much of a curve, but you can still see the curve. Now when I do polygel, I like to use this Tammy Taylor 100 grit e-file to go around the surface of the nail, smoothing out the nail, because I'm going to do some nail art on my nail. So I need to make sure this nail is as smooth and nice as possible. And I'm going in the same direction when I go around the nail, and then when I go on top of the nail, I'm just taking the e-file up and down the nail, just because I look down the barrel of the nail. I like to look down the barrel of the nail, and if I can see that everything is fine and even, then I move on to the next nail. So, but you can do all of this with your e-file. Now, if you are one who can really, you know, make things happen with your e-file, then do that, because it saves time on your wrist and your arm. Because as I've stated and told my members on the member side, when we do stuff on the member side, I have problems now with my arm and my wrist. So I wear a brace at night because I overwork my right hand a lot, because I am right-handed, and that's what I use the most. So because I'm hard-headed and don't want to learn, sometimes now I think about it and I'll be like, you know what, I can do all of this with my e-file, so yeah, let's just get the e-file. But I love to use my hand file because I have more control with the hand file, and I feel like I can get the nail crisp, or the shape crispier, with my hand file. So it's really up to you, whatever you're comfortable with. Just make sure that you're not over filing on your enhancement, because you don't want to remove the work that you've already done unless you had a sloppy application. Now, I always used to say you can fix everything in filing, and you can, because when you first start out and you're learning any process, it's not going to be as good as you want it to be, and you might have to fix up, you know, the thickness. You may have to bring some of the product down. You may have to clean up the sides, and you know get the shape back, however the case may be. So don't be too hard on yourself if you're starting out and you learning a craft, because I always tell people you can always fix it in filing. I learned that myself, because I used to just look, my application used to look whack, and I'm like, child, yeah, we gonna have to get this together. And it's just one of those things. It takes practice. You have to practice. You have to put it in practice, and you just have to keep doing what you're doing. And once you keep doing it and practicing over and over, you'll get better and better over time. I am 5 years, almost 5 years in doing nails, and I think from the very start to now, I have improved so much. Especially with my application. I try to stay within the guidelines of the tips if I'm using tips, or even if I do a nail form or any type like that. I try to stay within the guides of the markers or whatever, just so I can make sure that shape is what I want. Because sometimes I remember when I first started out, I'm gonna make y'all laugh. When I first started out, I didn't know what I was doing, right? And so trying to do things with the nail forms, or sometimes even with the tips, and I just be doing too much. I would have to change the shape because I can't figure out what shape I'm creating, because I first, number one, I didn't know what I was doing, and number two, I was all over the place. So don't be too hard on yourself when you're starting out. Just know that with practice and time comes improvement, and you'll get better and better as you go. Okay? The one thing I notice about my hands, and one thing I notice about my clients' hands, is the middle finger is always wider than most nails. And it's like, why is my middle finger so wide all the time? But hey, I don't know, it might be that's just the structure of the nail. But I try to bring it in, taper in the sides with the e-file or the nail file, so everything at least look cohesive. But yeah, my middle finger is a little bit wider than most of my other fingers, and I never paid attention to that before. It's even a little bit wider than my thumb, and I've never paid attention to that. But I think it's because your middle finger gets the most stress. If you are right or left-handed, you prop your pencil or pen with your middle finger, so you do a lot without, it's like unconscious knowing that you do it. So it's almost like I didn't know I was doing it like that, but you're doing it like that. So it's kind of weird, but hey. But I'm going in and I'm just going over the surface of the nail, and then I'm going to take that I think I'm using the mandrel with the 240 sanding band to go around the cuticle area and to clean up the free edge of the nail as well, because sometimes when I use polygel, the polygel kind of can get thick on the free edge, and you really want your free edge to be credit card thin. So you don't want it to be too thick. You want it to look like that, a natural nail. You want your enhancements always to look like it's just growing from your nail matrix, like it's just growing out, like it's yours. You don't want people to notice or say, oh girl, you got your nails done, because them things are thick. You don't want that. So I had to learn that too over time, how to address that and clean that up. So that's another reason why I like the hand file and going over the top of the nail, because it helped bring some of that thickness down. And I don't mind showing you guys. So right there is where I was showing you guys the barrel of the nail, and my thumbnail was the thickest on the free edge, and so that took a little bit more work to get that thickness down from the nail, because I don't even use the thumbnail a lot for a lot of things, but to like grab or pick something up. But I still don't want it to be extra super thick. That don't look right. I even, when I'm with my clients, I'm like, we got to fix this, because yeah, that don't look right. I got to get this right. So sometimes your filing process can be a little bit longer, because you got to fix some imperfections from the application. And still today, 5 years later, I'm still doing that same thing. So please, take from me, don't get discouraged in anything that you're doing, because anything that you're doing, it takes practice. And we all can, I'm sorry guys, I got choked up there. So we all can learn from our mistakes and do better. So there's not nobody on this journey of nails or any other journey that's perfect, because none of us are perfect. We're going to make mistakes, We're going to learn from our mistakes. We're going to correct our mistakes and be able to share those mistakes with our viewers and subscribers alike. So that is what I'm doing here. I am cleaning up that thumbnail, trying to bring down some of that thickness on the tip of that nail. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my e-file after this process and go around the eponychium, trying to seal in what we call the cuticle. But before I do that, guys, you've seen I've grabbed this cuticle pusher a couple of times during my process, and I like to do this for myself because I be thinking, like, especially in my middle nail feel like it's just don't have any kind of leverage to hold my cuticle area. So I like to go in after all of that and push that cuticle area back just a little bit more, so I can make sure that everything is right. Alright, so here you can see, this is the part. So here you can see how it's wobbling and shaking, right? So I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like, this is shaking. And as you see, I'm trying to go around my cuticle area with it, but I'm like, yeah, no, this is not going to work. So you're going to see me stop, and I'm going to grab my Saviland drill, because I'm like, do this happen on all of, has this been happening on, because, guys, the drill was at 1 RPM. 1,000 RPM, and it was moving like it was at 10,000 RPMs, but it was wobbly. As you see, it was wobbly. So I was like, what is going on? And so I put it into my 7-inch drill, and it was doing the same thing. So then I said, okay, something ain't right? So I grabbed, I'm going to put my one finger up, because I'm letting you guys know, hold on 1 second, I'm going to grab another drill bit. All right, so I grab another drill bit. And here I'm going to freeze the frame. I hope you guys can see it. But as you can see, one is smaller than the other. So I was like, okay, this may be the problem. So I took the sanding band and put it on the one that was a little bit larger. And I'm going to put that one back into the e-file. So here I'm showing you guys where it's actually smaller than the regular one. And that's why it was doing all of that shaking. And that is not a good thing. So I'm taking the drill bit, another mandrel, and I'm going to put it into this Melody Susie e-file. And as you can see, guys, it's moving smoothly. It's moving just fine. And now I can put it on the 8,000 RPM that I like to use, and it's going at 8,000 RPM. So just to keep that in mind, if you ever have that experience, just check. Because sometimes you can buy, because I buy a lot of drill bits in a lot of different places. And sometimes those drill bits are actually, the barrel of that bit is not, either it's too small or it's too large. One of the two. But it's not consistent with what actually supposed to be used in that particular hand drill. So make sure that, most of the time when you buy an e-file, it comes with its own prepper bits, right? But we like to add and buy more extra. If you find where one is wobbly and shaking, remove that right away. Please don't continue using that on that particular e-file, and find one that actually fits into that e-file. Because using that, like I said earlier, it can become micro shattering on your wrist. And if you look up micro shattering, it's like small fragments of bone, right, shattering in your hands, in your wrist. Or you can cause micro shattering on the nail plate. And that's stress factors, small stress factors on the enhancement that will allow it to start to chip, break, or come loose from the natural nail plate over time. So you don't want to use anything that's wobbly, even if it's the actual hand drill itself. If the hand drill have a lot of tension in it where you could feel the vibration in the drill, like you can actually feel it coming through, because now just know that e-files have a vibration. But you'll know the difference between a bad vibration and a good one over time. But if it's like really, really bad, like I almost feel like the engine rev up and it's taking your hand with it, then yeah, you need to look for another e-file. That's not a good e-file. Or you need to bring the speed up or take the speed down. Either way, you need to know. And that's why some places, um, some content creators offer e-drill or e-filing classes. Most time on if you purchase an e-file from a company, they'll have something in there to show you a step-by-step guide or talk about the e-file itself, so you will know if you have a good e-file or picking a good e-file. But if you're not familiar with an e-file, make sure you try to take some kind of course, or find some kind of demonstration on YouTube to make sure that you know what you're doing and you have the proper e-file. I remember when I first before I even went to school, I just wanted to learn how to do nails, and I bought a drill, not a hand file. I bought a drill. It was a nail drill, not a nail file, not an e-file. It was a nail drill. And when I went to school, and I wasn't using it a lot because I didn't really know how to use an e-file. But when I went to school, I learned the difference. And I came home and I put that thing down in the bottom because that was for me putting my shelving units up and not on my hands. So you learn the difference in school, and then you'll be better for it. Because had I kept using that, I would have caused so much damage on my natural nails, on my toes, everything, had I kept using that. And if I didn't get the proper training and the proper schooling, who knows what I would have done, how much damage I would have done to other people that I do nails on using the wrong kind of e-file. So there is a difference, guys. So when you're looking for a e-file hand drill, put in the search engine bar e-file hand drill for nails, because if you put in nail drill, it's going to show you the handiwork type drills and not the one you're looking for. Okay. All right, guys. So ways to support the channel: you can support the channel by super chat, super stickers, join the channel, or buy me a lemonade, and all of that information is listed in the description. All right, so here I just wanted to share with you guys the products that I'm going to be using to do this design. So I'm going to be using my Madam Glam products. I'm going to be using the Velvet Matte Top Coat. I'm going to be using River Walk, and I'm going to be using Perfect Black to do this design. Now, these are my Black History nails. I was only able to do a set on my hand this year. One on my right and one on my left. So I wanted to go in and do some tribal art. So what I'm doing first, after application, after cleaning the nail down with alcohol and brushing everything off, I'm going in and I'm putting a velvet matte top layer on top of the entire nail, each nail, and I'm going to put it under the light and cure it in this lamp for 120 seconds. Now, this lamp here, this new AI nail lamp, it has different settings for different uses of type gels. And for this lamp, top coats are 120 seconds. Now, in my Madam Glam lamp, I could have pulled out my Madam Glam lamp or my what is that lamp? M-Shop lamp. I can cure my top coat for 60 seconds and it's going to cure completely. But for this lamp, because of the lighting source that's in this lamp, it calls for me to cure the top coat for 120 seconds so I don't get any heat spikes going in to the lamp, and everything just cures perfectly. So I love this lamp for that. And guys, since I purchased it, it's been the only lamp I'm using. But I have many different lamp sources And you guys know this already if you've been following me. All right, so while we're doing that, let's do a creator check-in. So my creator check-in for today is Lizzie's Nails. Now, guys, Lizzie is an amazing content creator. She does amazing work. And I've not seen her in a while. So I think the last time she posted a video was like 6 months ago. So we are shouting you out, Lizzie. We miss you, we love you, and we can't wait till you come back to the platform and show us more of your process. All right, guys. So I'll be leaving her information down in the description box below for you guys. And guys, just because I'm getting ready to start doing the nail art, I'm going to elaborate on why I'm doing the creator shout out, okay? Or content creator check-in. On this journey, guys, you start the journey with some amazing people. And you continue the journey with amazing people. And every day, newer creators come on the platform and they are just as talented and just as amazing as the ones you started with. But you never forget where you start. You never forget the people that you started with. You never forget the people that you learned from along the way. You never forget the people that inspired you to continue to grow and keep going. You never forget those creators. And for me, I just can never forget the ladies I started with, the people I follow, the journey that I found, the camaraderie that I found on this content creator journey. I'm still meeting newer creators every day on this journey. Some of them I spend a lot of time with, and some of them I don't know at all. But that's because this platform is so big. It's so large. It has so many amazing people and talent on this platform. I thank YouTube for giving us the opportunity to share our creations with the world, with each other. And, you know, if it wasn't for a platform like this, half of us would never be able to share our talent as well as we do with the world. So I just remember the ladies and gentlemen that I started out with, and I always want them to know that, hey, you're not forgotten. Just because life get in the way and challenges get along the way and you have to pull back a little bit, and content creator is going to always be, you know, not top priority for some, because life is lifing for all of us. And when family calls, you have to stop what you're doing. When, you know, life is happening, you have to stop what you're doing. If you work a full-time job and the job is becoming, you know, a little bit more, you know, challenging and demanding, you have to stop, you know, what you're doing and focus on, you know, what's really in front of you. Family, kids, home, finances, you know, because this 2024 and 2025, and now we're in 2026, it's been very challenging under this new administration, money-wise, for a lot of people, and health-wise, safety-wise, everything. It's so much happening in the world, and it takes away from us being able to get on this process and really just enjoy the journey. Sometimes we have to leave this process and focus on what really truly matters. And so I just wanted to let these ladies that I'm shouting out, gentlemen, I'll be shouting out, are people that I miss. I have not seen them in a while, and you guys, if you follow them and get familiar with their content, you'll understand why. Because they are awesome creators, just like you, and they bring a lot of life lessons, just like you, and you'll be better to know them, just like you. All right? So that's why I do the creator shout out. I know a lot of the newer creators probably don't even know who I'm talking about. And that's why I do the creator shout out. And for some of the ladies that's been on this journey with me, you know what I'm talking about, because you actually found me through some of them, and I found them through some of you. So that's why I do that. All right, so I'm going in with this design, and I'm going to go ahead, and I'm just doing a straight Frenchie. I'm doing like that 90s Frenchie where it's just straight across the nail. where the free edge meets the enhancement. So the nail I'm getting ready to do on my ring finger is humility and strength. And this is African tribal art. I don't know if I said it, but I had started and I thought I was recording my pinky and I wasn't. So I was like, oh crap, I'm not even recording. And I had got all into it. So the pinky is done. I'm sorry guys, but I'm getting ready to start on this ring finger. And you're not going to see every nail, guys, but you're going to see me create up into, I think you're going to see the ring and the middle. And I'm going to do the pointer and the thumb off camera. But my ring finger is humility and strength. And my thumb finger is authenticity. And the reason why I wanted to do tribal art is because I've seen a lot of, I stroll Pinterest a lot, and I've seen a lot of inspiration using some of the tribal art in the design. And so when I pulled up African tribal art on Pinterest, I saw a lot of things that I was like, I'm gonna try it. Now I didn't know if I could do it, but I had to tell myself I could. And so I just went with it. Now, it's not perfect. I'm sure it's not perfect. But it's so beautiful. And I love it. And people who sit down, I had one of my clients sit down and she's like, let me see your nails. And she's like, oh my God, I love that. Can you do that on me? And I was like, yeah, we can do this on you. And so I enjoy being the face of my business when I can. And they also love my right hand as well with the African art faces on it. And so, but I did not draw that. That was decals from 77 Nails. So I actually love those decals, and they are absolutely beautiful on my hand. Now these two sets, guys, I don't want to lose them, but I'm going to end up losing them because these nails are not pop off. These are my enhancements that I wear. And so I do, like you saw the Valentine's set, it do have to go. So that's why I take pictures, because if I can't keep the nail, at least I have the pictures. So that's what I do. I just take pictures so I can see, look back on my journey and see that, yeah, you did that. You took your time. You really did that, because there's going to be a time in my life where I'm not going to be able to do this. But I'm going to always be able to look back and say, I could, and I did. So that's one of the reasons why I like to take a lot of pictures of my nails and my clients' nails, because life is not going to always be this good, right? And as I get older and age and decide, whether I want to continue this process, there's going to be a time where I'm not going to be able to continue the process. So I'm going to be able to look back and say, I did that. And I'll be proud of it for me. So I'm going in now and I'm creating that tribal art. And when I was trying to do the right hand of this design, right side of this design, I kept screwing up. So as you can see, I'm wiping it down, and this is sped up. But I'm going to end up going off camera and completing that right side, because for some reason I just could not stay in camera and do it. I needed to pull my hand closer to my face to get it done, to make sure at least it looks somewhat even. But then I'm going to come back after that is done, and I'm going to do the bottom half of that design for you guys. So when you're doing nail art, you just need a proper brush. You need the right nail art brushes. Now I'm using Origen brushes. I'm using the ultra liner, and I think I have number 10. I think it's or number 7, I can't remember, but I'm using Origen ultra liner, I do know that, and I'm using number 10, I believe, to do the nail art. You just need good nail art brushes, and you can find good nail art brushes anywhere. You can find good nail art brushes. I have Nicole J's brushes, and I have Origen brushes, and those are where I spent the most money on brushes. I also was gifted by a good nail sister here, Young Nails line of brushes, and they are good too. as well. So I do have high quality brushes, but I also have some that I purchased off of Shein, I purchased off of Temu, I purchased off of Amazon, and they are just as worthy to use also. And I've been gifted so many from so many amazing creators here, because they know how I love to draw, and they know how I love a good liner brush. But you just need a good liner brush. You need a good ultra liner brush. You need a good detailer. What it's called is you need a striper, because ultra liner, you like, what? Ultra liner is what they call striper. When you learn about brushes in nail school, you're going to learn the basic name for those brushes. And then you'll be able to figure out when you purchasing from companies what they call them. Okay? So you need a striper, you need a detailer, and you need a micro or mini detailer. Mini detailers are good for that intricate art you getting in, like when you're trying to draw an eye, or like on face, the eye design, or you even writing on the nail. Those are great for that. Stripers are good for long line work, like Frenchies, long strokes, trying to keep a connect to the nail art, like coming from your cuticle area down to the bottom of the nail. You need stripers for long nail art, like line work. And then your micro or your detailer brush is for all of this intricate stuff that you see me doing, like trying to create shapes, create and different designs, I could say. Not for line work, but for the other stuff. And so that's what I'm using here. I'm using a number 10 detailer to do the round part of this nail, but you'll see me going between both brushes, because I need the striper for certain things and I need the detailer for other things. So having those 3 brushes in your possession will do you well when you're doing nail art. Don't go out here feeling like, oh, I got to buy the most expensive brush so that's going to help me. If you don't know how to draw, that's not going to help you be better. It's not like it's got magic in the brush. You got to learn. So what I always tell like I've always taught when I do the nail art portion, and I've done it in the past, you can go to how-to section in my playlist. If you just practice with creating a S or C or lines on your swatch sticks, then once you practice that over and over, you'll start to get comfortable with creating something on your nails, like creating some artwork, following along on something you really want to create. But it all comes with shapes. You got to know how to look at the work and say, what is the particular shape I'm trying to make, and start there and then go in, and you'll be able to do it. Like Frenchies, I've been doing Frenchies so long, I find it easy, but a lot of people find it extremely hard to do. But when you're doing Frenchies, I always say, when you're doing Frenchies, stay with the first pattern, and not, now I messed up a lot of times not doing that, but stay with your first pattern. So if you start out with the V and making an A across the nail, stay with that pattern. If you just go from side swoop in to the other side swoop in, stay with that pattern on every nail. That way your Frenchies come out looking similar, but not the same. Because, it takes, you just have to put the hands together and try your best to, make sure that you connecting in the same spot every time. But you will connect in the same spot every time if you stay doing the same step for every nail. And just let me know at the in the comment section if you want a class just on Frenchies, or just a video, not a class, but a video on Frenchies. If you want a video on Frenchies, I can do that for you. But just let me know. But I've done Frenchies so many times. I do different style Frenchies, different type Frenchies. I love doing abstract French because that is something that you don't have to worry about. I do abstract Frenches on my clients. Then I don't have to worry about them being like, well, that don't, they out. Because you have clients that's very picky and particular. And you have to stop and redo it over and clean it up and make sure it's right before, you send them out of here, because they paying their money to you. So the customer for me is always correct, even when I feel like, oh, it's that's right, but whatever they say, I gotta do it because they spending their money with me. So I learned a lot with Frenchies. I learned you could do so many different designs with Frenchies. And the one thing I love is when my clients tell me freestyle, do what you want to do. Because when they tell me freestyle, do what I want to do, then I know I have creative control. A lot of times I rather freestyle, but because I have a lot of clients who love recreation and they love following other content creators, a lot of my designs sometimes is recreated artwork. And I always tell them I can recreate the artwork, but I'm not going to give you exactly what that person would have given you if you're sitting in their seat, because I'm actually recreating the design. So I'm going to put a little genie spin on it, and we're going to go that way. And they always okay with that. But, I'm not real fond of recreating other people's work, but I will do that because it teaches me. So recreation always teaches you. If you can follow guidelines for what somebody else said, then you can always come up with your own guideline, if that makes sense. So when I can recreate somebody else's artwork, I know I can come up with my own artwork. And so that's what I do a lot of times on my own nails. I don't do recreations on my own nails. I just go freestyle. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just taking tribal art and I'm just throwing it on the nail, and all of these come from a certain pattern, and I'm just putting that pattern on the nail. So I hope that helps you guys. This video is pretty long, and I intended it to be that way. So if you had to pause and come back to it later, I hope you do finish it out. Thank you guys so much for all of your love and your support you have given me on this journey. This journey has been nothing short of amazing for me. Every year I feel more and more better by it. Every year I set a standard for myself. I do want to reach a 2,500 mark within the year. So if you are here and not subscribed to the channel, please help me get to that goal for myself. I want to reach the 2,500 mark, and yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do here soon. I would love to hit it by June if I can, and that's asking a lot of you guys, but if you would please like the video so they can push out my content to many more subscribers. And share my videos with your friends, your family, anybody who love to do nails, your nieces, your sisters, whoever love to do nails. Share this content with them, and hopefully I can share and teach you something on your journey, and be able to help you expand a little bit more on your nail journey as well. So I am going to let you guys see me finish out this nail art on this finger, and I think that's it. I don't think I shared with you guys the next two fingers. I think this finger is the last finger I'm doing the tribal art with, and that you guys will see, and then we're gonna go into final shots. So thank you all for staying with me throughout this journey, and I hope you guys found this information helpful, and that you can carry it on your journey as well. All right, guys. I'll let you enjoy some music. And yeah, the Nail Genie, she's going back to the bottle. She's about to get back in the bottle. Alright guys, so I'm coming back in here because I wanted to let you guys know I'm using a velvet matte top coat for the final top coat for this application. And the reason why I'm using the velvet matte top coat, because anytime you do detail or intricate nail art, it pops better with a matte top coat. It kind of, I don't know, it just gives you what it's supposed to give. Now, I did, prior to the matte top coat, go in with a no wipe top coat. And that is to prevent any type of smudging or smearing of the artwork. Because sometimes on black, if you're using a white outline and you go in straight with a matte top coat, you can smear the artwork. I don't know why it's like that. Velvet top coat is so strong, it starts to pull some of that paint away, even though the nail art is fully cured on the nail. So to prevent that, you can go in with your no wipe top coat first and cure it for the allotted time that is supposed to be cured, and then go in with your velvet matte top coat to get your final results. And again, guys, I use the velvet matte top coat from Madam Glam, the Riverwalk color from Madam Glam, and the Perfect Black from Madam Glam. Now, with each one of the Riverwalk and the Perfect Black, you do have to do it in very thin layers to build it up so you don't cause any wrinkling in your application or your artwork. And these are the two liner brushes I use, the Origen Ultra Liner and the 7mm, as well as my flashy was from Apres, the Kuromi one, and also dotting tool and my cleanup brush. So these are all of the items I used in order today to create this look, and I hope you guys have enjoyed watching me create this look. And again, I love my O'Nail AI nail lamp. It's an amazing nail lamp. So here is the final shots. But before we do the final shots, I'm going to go ahead and moisturize these dry hands and put some moisture back on my cuticle area or the eponychium area, just to hydrate that area and give it a very nice finish for the pictures. Alright guys, I hope you have enjoyed. Let me know what you think about this design in the comment section below. And if you have any concerns or questions, leave them down below and we will discuss it in our Let's Chat About It section. Alright guys, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Until then, the deuces are flying in the air. You already know what time it is. Poof. The nail genie, she's out. Now it's really time to get back in the bottle.